Hello and good afternoon. I am Yatin Mota and you are watching Closing Bell with me on Moneycontrol.com. Obviously, if you look at the markets today, bit of pressure, and if you look at the broad indices also, we couldn't make much of progress there. If you look at the Nifty today, managed to close slightly above 17,750. But on an intraday basis, we lost nearly 100 points on the Nifty. If you look at the Sensex also, we lost a considerable amount of momentum there, almost 350 down for the benchmark indices as far as Sensex is concerned. Nifty Bank also, the good results of the PSU banks, especially SBI, failed to cheer the Nifty Bank index, which was quite strong in the morning. But as the day progressed, that also saw some red in the closing, almost 125 down for the Nifty Bank. As far as the NSE advanced decline ratio is concerned, it was almost 1:1. So clearly, if you look at the budget, the Adani saga, or the results, none of them are having a real impact on the markets. We have been trading under pressure since the last many trading sessions. Today, if you look at the sectors, obviously metals was one sector which was beaten down out of shape, almost 2% down for that one. Remember, today Tata Steel will report their quarterly earnings, and ahead of that, Tata Steel also saw some selling pressure. As far as energy stocks are concerned, IT stocks are concerned, there also there was a sea of red. In fact, if you look at the Nifty losers today, we have the IT majors which were putting some pressure. On the gaining side, FMCG stocks and PSU banks, selective bit were moving in trade, especially ITC after strong set of earnings was the top gainer on that particular index. But let's talk about the index pullers and draggers today. Adani Ports, that stock was up 10%, and good momentum coming in for that Adani Group company, because we have the promoters which announced the intention to reduce the pledged shares by prepaying certain loans, and after that announcement we had the momentum which really built upon Adani Group stock, especially Adani Ports and Ambuja Cements, Adani Port being the index mover today. ITC, that stock is at record highs, almost 1% up for that one, because the cigarette volume growth which the street expected would be in the 8 to 10% range came in at around 15 to 16%, because of which there were good upgrades on the stock by brokerages. IndusInd Bank and Power Grid were the other gainers as far as Nifty 50 stocks are concerned. On the flip side, let's see the losers, wherein Infosys contributed nearly 25 points to the Nifty fall. That stock was down 1.5%. Apart from that, we had ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries, Kotak Bank and HDFC Bank, which were putting tremendous pressure on the key benchmark indices. So clearly, we have the IT pack and index heavyweights like Reliance and HDFC Bank, which have been underperforming the markets for quite some time. Okay, so this is the broad market setup and the market picture. Obviously, we are at key support levels, so we have been maintaining. The bulls are trying to maintain that 17,700, 17,750 mark in order to provide some support to the markets. But clearly, all the rally or all the good news are probably getting discounted, especially the earnings. Moving from the stocks in focus to the stocks in news. Today, Vodafone Idea, that stock was up 25%, and also Indus Towers gained 15% after the government of India decided to convert their AGR dues into equity shares. So the 16,000 crores worth of AGRs which are the government dues got converted into 1,600 crore shares of Vodafone Idea, because of which Vodafone Idea saw a relief rally, because this was expected for the last 1 year and finally it was brought to the notification. As Indus Tower, it is good because the balance sheet position of Vodafone Idea improves, and probably from here on there is expectation that the promoters of Vodafone Idea would pump in some equity, because of which the dues of Indus Towers would get paid, and hence both of these stocks, Vodafone Idea and Indus Towers, both of them were in focus. As I was mentioning earlier, Tata Steel will report earnings. The figure to watch out for will be the India business EBITDA as well as the Europe EBITDA. Europe EBITDA is expected to turn negative, given the fact that the demand and pricing power has been hit. So watch out for this one. The earnings are expected very, very shortly. So let's talk about the stock which caught my attention in trade today. So as far as the stocks are concerned today, we will focus on Paytm, because that is one stock wherein a lot of retail investors are losing money. The IPO price was over 2,000 bucks, and the stock traded at 550 today. The reason why the stock was rallying in trade today were the strong results. If you look at the company's guidance, they guided for September 24 as the probable date wherein they could break even, but they broke even this quarter, which is basically the December quarter, 3 quarters before that they had guided for. Obviously, the earnings are adjusted for ESOP costs, which were almost 400 crores per quarter, and also for the UPI incentives which the Government of India pays to these UPI companies and digital payment companies. So adjusting for that, the company had shown break even in EBITDA. If you look at Goldman Sachs, they are bullish on the counter with a target price of 1150, which is almost double the current market price. However, Goldman does believe that from here on the company will be improving its margins, and in FY24 to their previous estimates, Goldman expects a 30% better performance. So probably that is the reason why the stocks were rallying in trade today. So watch out for Paytm, strong earnings. Let's see whether or not this move is sustainable, or the earnings or the EBITDA positive trajectory is sustainable from here or not. Obviously, we have spoken about the Adani Group and Vodafone Idea and all of these stocks in news, but do watch out for Friday, because MSCI will be announcing their decision of inclusion and exclusion for their MSCI global indices, and the expectation is that that on 10th of February the announcement will happen on 9th night, which means that 10th morning will come to know the inclusion and exclusions of the MSCI index. I will touch upon the inclusion candidates, which brokerage estimates this time could be Bank of Baroda, and if Bank of Baroda gets included, we could see a 1200 crore buying because of MSCI rebalancing here on the positive side. And also CG Power, this is one company which got taken over by the Murugappa Group in South, and post that acquisition, the stock has steadily appreciated, and probably MSCI would like to include that one also in the index. 1200 crores worth of buying is possible there as well, according to Nuvama Wealth estimates. And finally, to the exclusion list, this time Biocon could be the exclusion candidate, and in the kind of fall and the kind of 52-week low the stock is hitting, probably that stock would deserve exclusion according to quant analyst, and there also there could be some selling flows to the tune of 500 to 600 crores. So watch out for these 3 stocks on the back of MSCI announcement, which will happen Thursday night, and for us Friday morning this would be the list which will be there. Obviously, a lot of queries that we get on MSCI regarding the Adani Group. Now MSCI had earlier indicated that they would like to hear comments from the stakeholders and subscribers, customers regarding the inclusion or exclusion of Adani Group, given the current volatility and the allegations which have been put forward by various brokerage reports, or rather Hindenburg research to be in particular. So it will be closely monitored what decision does MSCI take this time. Obviously, the analysts we spoke to do not expect any change for Adani Group stocks, because the cutoff date was post the rebalancing happened, and if you look at the current sequence of events, probably the comments from stakeholders will also take time to come in, and by that time probably the decision of MSCI will not be possible in this review. So watch out for this MSCI announcement. Quite a lot of announcements are expected this time around. With that, it's a wrap on Closing Bell. We'll see you tomorrow again at 3:30, and for news, views and update, do keep watching moneycontrol.com.